Hey there, this is Marissa with Marissa Moments. So, Apple, really quickly, what I received to share with you is that you've been going through a major struggle lately. It feels like every time you want to go right, everything starts to go left, right? It feels like one thing after another is what I receive. And I see like a snowball, you get in that snowball effect. One thing starts to happen and then another thing piles on top, and then it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going until all of a sudden you have a full-on avalanche, right? But what I received to share with you is that it's also about how you're viewing it, right? Because a lot of the things that are happening, and even you're saying it, they have happened before. Why does this always happen to me? Does that sound familiar? Why does this always happen to me? But what Spirit, God, Gaia, ancestors, angels, and saints are saying is that the reason why you keep going through the same things over and over and over is because you're not learning your lesson. You're too busy lost in the struggle and in the deficit and in the victim mentality to understand and comprehend the notion of the gift that is actually being given unto you. You continue to walk that exact same path is what I receive, right? So here's a breakdown. There used to be, there still is. There's a store in the neighborhood that I grew up in called One Stop, right? And so in this vision, I see the path to One Stop. Now, mind you, it was pretty much a straight path for me when I was younger. And we could just walk down one street. Mind you, there was dogs and stuff. It was all type of different things that we had to get around in order to get there, right? But once we got there, we were at One Stop, right? Now, what I received with you is that those dogs are on the path. You know that there's going to be resistance on the path. You know where the potholes are. You know where the holes in the ground are. Now, we're talking about walking. Here's the thing, right? Now, if you know. Sometimes when there's dogs, you got to walk in the street. You got to walk across the street. You got to do whatever you got to do, darn near climb a fence. You got to do whatever you got to do to survive. When we're talking hood dogs, we're not talking about nice little cutesy dogs. We're not talking about carrying the little case dogs. We're talking about on a major chain, and they don't even respect the chain, right? We're talking about barking at everybody dog. We're talking about biting your ankle, biting your face, biting whatever it is dog, right? Now, listen, let's get away from dog. I want you to understand that this path, even though you know exactly where you want to go, it is tumultuous. It is a trial and a tribulation all wrapped in one package, right? But the thing of it is that you keep walking the exact same path. Even though you know that dog is going to pop up and probably try to bite you, you keep walking on that same side of the street. You won't take another route. And what God is saying is that, child, until you learn that you need to take a different route because this dog is positioned here, that's his home, that's where he resides, right? Until you recognize that and start to try something new, learn your lesson, you're going to continue to have that fear in your heart. You're going to continue to have your soul jump out of your body every time it barks at you. You're going to continue to have that threat of being bitten. You're going to continue to have all of these things. Now, yes, I might be talking about the actual physical walk to One Stop in this situation and circumstance, but this is in relation to everything that you are doing. The reason why you keep saying, why does this always happen? Is because you keep walking that exact same road. You keep walking that exact same street, even though there are multiple ways that you can get to the same place. Start trying something new is the bottom line to this bottom line. When you start feeling like everything is putting you in a spiral, everything is going left when you're trying to go right, pause and reassess, because God is really trying to teach you something or show you that there is an alternate option in terms of path of least resistance. But until you make acceptance with this, until you become mindful of that possibility that exists, until you release that stubborn notion and attitude that says, I don't care, I'm gonna keep going that way anyway, because that's the way I always go. Until you let that go, prepare to be bitten in the ankles and in the arse. So that's it. Tomato.